Your Excellency Lempo Tamchidorji, Your Excellencies, the Speaker of the House and the Chairman of the National Council, Your Excellencies, distinguished Dashos, Honorable Member of Parliament, Bhutan, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of India to Bhutan, Jaideep Sarkar, distinguished guests from all over the world. I should also mention the distinguished parliamentarians from South Korea. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome all of you from outside the country and inside the country. But those of us from inside the country, about 200 here, are just here to welcome those coming from outside. And you have spent, those coming from outside, spent your own resources, spent a lot of time to be with us. And the purpose is to exchange ideas and explore together the application of GNH to commercial and entrepreneurial concerns. You might find it is a bit strange to have a huge gathering to discuss on business, because Bhutan is not really that much known globally for companies or brands. But that is precisely the reason. There may be much that we can learn from all of you on both what we could do and what we should not do. So to discuss that, I'm very pleased really to have all of you here, and we are very, very happy that you all arrived safely, very safely on time from different parts of the world. I think most of you got here only this afternoon, having landed at 3 p.m. and made straight to this gathering. I would like to, but I think for the sake of time, I will not. I would just like to name the country of the participants. I would have liked to name all of you and welcome you by name, but that would be very time consuming. So may I very respectfully, Your Excellency, just name the countries which are represented here amongst those who came from outside. And they are Thailand, Nepal, USA, Republic of Korea, India, Bangladesh, Ireland, Japan, UK, Brazil, Czech Republic, Belgium, Australia, Malaysia, Argentina, Sweden, the Netherlands, Vietnam, China including Hong Kong, Taiwan, Austria, Canada, Finland, France, Hungary, Norway, Peru, Russia, and Spain. So it is a very rich gathering of countries and of academics, educationists, philosophers, politicians, journalists, bankers, business persons, lawyers, software technologists, biotechnologists, and so forth. I would like to extend a very special thanks to the delegation of South Korea led by Honorable Parliamentarian Woon Ho Young. I would also like to welcome in advance the delegation from India tomorrow. They will arrive from the Department of Happiness of Madhya Pradesh state. It is of course very exhausting for all of you to come straight to this gathering after landing at 3 p.m. So I really appreciate your kind presence for the welcome dinner. But in addition to the welcome dinner that is being hosted so kindly and graciously by His Excellency the Foreign Minister Damshodorji, we are here for two other purposes. The second purpose, besides welcoming you today, is to release a set of books. I shall come to that a bit later. But the third purpose is really to listen to His Excellency Damshodorji, who have been very kind enough to preside over this function of opening our conference and to share his thoughts on the government's role in GNH in general. As you all might have read the conference program, tomorrow morning His Excellency Prime Minister of Bhutan will deliver the inaugural address on GNH of Business as the conference starts. But tonight I have requested His Excellency the Foreign Minister to share his time, precious time, to provide a snapshot of GNH in action in our country under the leadership of the government. I would like to say that under this government, in particular under the leadership of the present Prime Minister, a lot of initiatives have been launched throughout the country, but our office, the CBS, the Center for Bhutan Studies and Cross-National Happiness, has seen a host of new activities unleashed by the present Prime Minister. Two of them I just mentioned in passing. One is the GNH of Business, about which he will introduce tomorrow in the inaugural address. The second is the construction of a very unusual facility for our country, especially for this city, which lacks a very good library. The library is named, and it will be opened early next year, the Library of Body, Mind and Sound. As Your Excellencies and distinguished participants are very much aware, Buddhism and the culture of Bhutan, which is influenced intimately by Buddhism, is or has been always concerned first and foremost about the experience of human beings. And the experience of human beings occurs through what traditionally has been called the three gateways or the doors of experiences. And these are the body, the mind, and the sound. There has been misleading perception of Buddhism that it doesn't emphasize the body. In fact, the foundation, either on liberation path or a household filled with well-being and happiness, is the body. Your body has to be very trained and used preciously. And in order to do that, various types of sophisticated techniques have been developed. Of course, that is not an end in itself in Buddhism. In Buddhism, that is supposed to be utilized gradually towards a glimpse or if possible attainment of what you call the Buddha nature, or if you translate it into today's neuroscientific words as called non-dual mindfulness, where first of all you attain some concentrative ability of your mind which can be applied to various other things. Second, you develop some kind of open awareness, and lastly you develop an ability to switch off your discursive thinking or the default network of your brain. So that's about the body. About sound, I am suspecting that as long as our thoughts are tied in linguistic terms, we are still in part of that discursive thought, and there might be possibilities to disengage ourselves from linguistic and symbolic world and enter into some other mode of thinking, such as visual alone. Anyway, there are different types of sounds which act on well-being: infrasound, ultrasound, and so on and so forth. Lastly, of course, mind. And I already introduced a bit about the development of concentrative abilities of mind, tranquility, and so on and so forth. So, His Excellency the Prime Minister has initiated this library, which actually is a laboratory of well-being and happiness. That will be open next year. So that is by way of introducing to you initiative that he has launched in the CBS. Other one, as I just mentioned, is the business, GNH of Business, not business of GNH, although some institutions also engage in that. We are very grateful to His Excellency Damche Dorji and the esteemed members of our cabinet, as well as the two houses of parliament, for gracing this occasion. Immediately, their presence here, and also the precious presence of His Excellency the Ambassador of India to Bhutan, show how much importance they attach to GNH and activities like we are holding for the next 3 days. Before His Excellency today tells us a little more about the role of government in GNH and what actually the present government is doing to promote, translate GNH into programs and policies. May I say that His Excellency Damche Dorji, by way of introducing him, studied in Sherapse in eastern Bhutan. I also went to Sherapse, but I managed to skip Sherapse after class 12 because there were no colleges at that time in Bhutan. But His Excellency did not have to go outside. But after that, for specialization in law, His Excellency went to Bombay Law College. And then further to Georgetown University in the United States. So, like almost all of our cabinet members, they are very highly qualified people. Bhutan has a very unusual provision in the constitution or the electoral law. All the members of the parliament have to be graduates. So the bar is quite high. Having completed his academic accomplishments in such prestigious institutions like Georgetown, he came back and then joined the judiciary in our country, and then he served as a judge for 6 years. And after that, the constitution was enacted, and the post of Attorney General was created. I think His Excellency Lempo Damshu Dorji has a distinction of being the first Attorney General of this country. But I'm happy also for another reason, for his readiness to grace this occasion, because His Excellency, the Prime Minister, obviously Prime Minister of a country is full of unexpected emergencies. Obviously, every Prime Minister has. But today, he could not join us, and in the last minute, he has to decide to pay a little more attention to his ailing family member. That is why he is not. I thought I owe you this explanation instead of just saying bureaucratically that Prime Minister is not available because of the events beyond his control. Usually that is a sort of but I'm very happy that His Excellency Foreign Minister has been able to join us. Many people would underestimate the role and responsibility of Foreign Minister of a small country. But I think that Foreign Minister of Bhutan has the most difficult task in this world, because we are between the two biggest countries in the world. But Foreign Minister Honorable Damshu Dorji has served now in the Parliament for 2 terms. After he left his legal profession, he joined. But he comes from the northernmost district of Bhutan, which is called Gasa. Gasa, according to the GNH index, the index of index, which ranks people according to 4 strata of happiness, because happiness is not a dichotomous being happy or not happy. We flit across happiness of various intensities over time. So in cross-sectional term, we classify this country's population into not yet happy people, narrowly happy people, people like myself who are on the verge of going this way or that way, and extensively happy people. That means the conditions are very strong, and though there is chances for people to suddenly face or get confronted with circumstances which may result in unhappiness, generally you can expect, you can predict they will be very happy because the conditions are all present. And lastly, deeply happy people. This is a category of, or a proportion of people which seems to defy influence also sometimes from material accretion. We have not been able to push narrowly happy. We can easily push not yet happy people into narrowly happy category, and we can also push narrowly happy people into extensively happy people. But we have not seen great result so far in the last 10 years of lifting people from the extensively happy category into the deeply happy category. I think there the training seems to be different. Training required to be blissfully happy is, and put you in a platform where you treat life with great equanimity, stability, etc. Anyway, Gasa has the distinction of repeatedly coming out as the #1 district in this country. To what extent His Excellency's activity is contributing to that, I don't know, but it is so gracious of Your Excellency, and I would like to now ask Your Excellency to tell the gathering the role of government, in particular the role of this government in promoting GNH. Your Excellency, please.